Like against Pakistan, we've had troubles against them in the past when they've been so unpredictable and so dangerous at different times during the game. And they've obviously got some world-class players who we've got to keep an eye out for. Babar is an absolute superstar. Shaheen Afridi.
If we just look ahead, Maxie, at the challenge coming up against Pakistan, what are you looking forward to with this team? We know that obviously they've struggled in recent times, but they're a very proud cricketing side and they'll be looking for some redemption.
Yeah, I suppose that's like when you're playing against a team like Pakistan, they can be unpredictable, which makes them so hard to play against. I think teams that structure up really consistently, you can structure up your team and you can back that. But I feel like against Pakistan, we've had troubles against them in the past when they've been so unpredictable and so dangerous at different times during the game. And they've obviously got some world-class players who we've got to keep an eye out for. Babar is an absolute superstar. Shaheen Afridi. An absolute wizard with a new ball up front, and it just seems like they've got class all the way through their lineup. So we're going to have to be on our game to get the points against them. So it's certainly a series we're looking forward to, but it's certainly not something we're taking lightly.
A bit of red ball cricket has been floated for you as well. How do you take that on, or what do you think about that? Is that something that you want to focus on?
Yeah, I think with the carrot at the end of the summer being dangled with the Sri Lanka tour, it's been something I sort of set long-term goal towards, and there's still a lot of moving parts that sort of need to happen between now and then, but to be able to get through the ODI series in England is a big tick for how my body's heading. And as you said, I'm 35 years young and sort of coming towards the back end, so I've got to make sure my body's in a good state to, I suppose, get through the rigours of Test cricket. And the start of this summer will obviously be a good sign of how I'm travelling, and if I can get through the next month or two unscathed, hopefully I'll put my hand up for selection at the back end.
Now, you're both marquee names for the Big Bash here. Jake, how important has that competition been for you, and how important do you think it is generally that you still stay involved in a domestic league here to bring attention to that competition whilst you're playing overseas as well?
Yeah, well, I can sort of thank where I'm at now to the Big Bash. You know, Melbourne Renegades kept sticking with me. Sometimes it wasn't good, sometimes it was okay, and then to be able to, you know, go right last year sort of sets a precedent for how important it is to, like, young players coming through. I know a lot of my younger teammates who, like, really want to play that league and really want to do well. That's where I got all my opportunities from, so I put it really high on my list.
And Maxie, what keeps you coming back? Do you think this will be the year for the Stars? What do you love about? He's shaking his head over here. It's a no from Jake.
Well, that's exactly it. I think the strive for that first tile for the Melbourne Stars is always that carrot that gets dangled in front of you, and to be a part of that team that eventually does lift the trophy for the team, and put a lot of time and effort into this competition over the last, I don't even know what BBL we're up to, maybe 13 or 14 years. 14, yeah, 14. So to put that much time and effort into a tournament and feel like I was probably at one of the forefront for a lot of those years, and to have the tournament where it is today, you have a sense of pride, and yeah, I feel like we keep coming back and striving for that elusive trophy. We made some good strides last year, and hopefully we can continue to grow on that.
And I know you've got a doubleheader coming up at the MCG as well in November. What's it like playing that kind of derby?
Two against England in their own conditions is pretty special, and shows some good signs for our team heading forward to this summer.
Yeah, what do you take out of a win in those conditions? Because, you know, we don't often play in them here. They're not as bad here. We've got less of a threshold, I suppose, for playing in the wet. So how good was it to rub it in and say, we were all miserable, but we won?
I think what you're trying to say is we're cowards when it comes to being cold. Yeah, to be fair, playing in plenty of jumpers, extra layers is obviously something that we're not really that used to over here. And to, I suppose, as a team, adapt and conquer those conditions against a team that's really good in those conditions, and they play them really well. To be able to come away with a series win is really special, and to do it, I think, despite having an illness that swept through the whole squad. We had injuries pretty much every game. We barely had a fit 11 to pick from most of the time. So to do that, despite everything that was going on behind closed doors, was pretty special. And as I said, it's a big summer of cricket coming up. We've got the Champions Trophy at the back end of the summer to look forward to and build up towards. So there's plenty going on, and our team's in really good shape at the moment.
Now, Jake, it's been a massive year for you. How do you sum up your last 12 months and all the highs and the lows that have come with it?
Yeah, I'd say it's been quite busy. Luckily, this guy to my right's helped me out with a fair bit of how to sort of combat all that. So yeah, I can thank him a lot. But yeah, just sort of keep looking forward and don't really look back. So that's sort of how I'm taking things.
Now, you're only 22, and I think a lot of people forget how young you are. I don't know if you remember how young you are with all the talk and all the pressure. Do you feel like you've had to grow up quickly, or do you feel like, no, I'm just going to sit in my age and everyone has to deal with it?
It depends who you ask. Well, with my friends and around that, I feel like a 18-year-old still, and then when I'm around these guys and all that stuff, I get reminded quickly that I've got to be a bit more mature. So yeah, it's a nice balance between young and old, but yeah, I'm going to try and stay in the young lane as long as I can.
Maxie, you're only 35. And I can say that because I'm older than you, all right?
Damn.
Only. So what kind of role do you take on with Jake here, I suppose, if he's looking to you for guidance? Because, you know, there might be some that have recognised that there's some similarities between you two.
Well, he's pretty lucky. I've made a lot of mistakes that I can probably tell him what not to do. I think just, I suppose, leaning on some experiences and being able to pass those on, and to be able to, I suppose, have seen him when he was 17, 18 in the Vic squad, sort of see him grow from there to where he's come from through the IPL, to get his opportunity in the Australian squad has been really special to, I suppose, watch him grow, and to be able to sort of keep his feet grounded, and you can, I suppose, believe in your own height pretty quickly when you have that quick rise, and to, I suppose, keep him level and remind him how much work there is to be done to be the finished product. And hopefully he has a very long career playing for Australia and all the comps around the world. But he's still got a bit of growing up to do, but he's certainly a long way advanced from a lot of us older guys at his age, and as much as we don't like to admit that to him, but he's obviously a super talent, and the only way is up from here.
Jake, the absolute insanity of the IPL, the crowds, the vibe, the attention. Did you expect any of that?
Not really. Well, when I went over there, I thought it only went for 5 weeks. It went for 9, so I didn't really have a lot of idea of what I was going to expect. I heard from Maxie and the boys like that it's crazy over there, and you know, they're just cricket mad over there. But yeah, to actually experience it firsthand it's next level, and at least I sort of know what to expect. Hopefully, coming up in the next year's IPL.
And it seems to agree with you. I don't know how many of you watched this guy Slade over there, but he did.